But here's the new Drake tailor-made freestyle, 3 minutes and 52 seconds. Which I don't really understand. I don't really understand this either. Like, I guess he just has so much smoke. Does he take another shot at Kendrick on this? Like, I don't know. Is AI?
Illuminati. Kendrick, we need ya. The West Coast savior. Ain't great in your name and some hip hop history.
Wait, he's using Tupac AI? That's crazy. Drake went to Cuba to get this feature. I feel like that's like extra disrespectful. Why did he do that? Drake taunts Kendrick by using artificial voice of the late hip-hop legend Tupac, an artist considered by many to be the greatest rapper ever, to beg Lamar to respond to Drake's diss track Push-Ups. This is likely intended to mock how Kendrick used snippets from Tupac interviews for the outro of Mortal Man. Kendrick, like Tupac did, reps the United States West Coast of Los Angeles. I love Rap Genius, bro. Kendrick, like Tupac did, reps the United States West Coast of Los Angeles, California. Thank you, Rap Genius. Oftentimes, prominent rappers will feature the gang sign by throwing up a W to say that they are from the West Coast and defend the West Coast of Los Angeles, California. The United States is West Coast. It's like Ben Shapiro wrote this. Seeing as Kendrick obviously holds the rapper in high regard and is often considered his successor, it is fitting for Drake to go about attacking Lamar this way. Drake also attempts to preemptively neuter some of the more predictable shots Lamar could take at him, such as, oh my God, this literally, bro, this is the most, actually, sir, this is like if Ben Shapiro was a Drake stan. This is like Wikipedia reading debate file level argumentation here, which is hilarious because the argument is literally about the number one thing that debate files love arguing on, which is actually it's a phebophilia and not philia, sir. Many layers of irony trapped in this one beautiful moment from rapgenius.com. Drake also attempts to preemptively neuter some of the more predictable shots Lamar could take at him, such as Drake's status as a biracial man from Canada and being such a prominent figure in a predominantly African-American genre. This was something rapper Pusha T famously clowned Drake on for in the story of Adidon during their 2018 beef, where he famously rapped, "Confused, always felt you weren't black enough, afraid to grow it because your fro wouldn't nap enough." This lack of real blackness was something rapper Rick Ross clowned on Drake. A masterful gambit, sir. They sound like Elon. This is written like an Elon stand.
Talk about him liking young girls. That's a kid for me. Heard it on the Button podcast. It's gotta be true.
Wait, sorry. I gotta go into this. Talk about him. So he goes, talk about him liking young girls. That's a gift for me. Heard on the Button podcast is gotta be true. So what a weird way to try to diffuse the absolute nuclear bomb. It's like trying to stop the nukes from launching with a crayon. That's insane. That is his greatest opening, right? Everyone on TikTok has been clowning on him for this in perpetuity. Everyone on Twitter. This is probably part of the reason why a lot of people don't really like Drake that much. Even if they listen to his music, they're still like, yeah, he's kind of weird. I don't know what's up with that. And it is a weird way to try to get ahead of this by basically being like, oh, heard it on the Button podcast. It's gotta be true. No, man, we heard it from you. Like, you personally said High School Pics, you was even bad then. That's like, you know what I mean? That's you did that. You put that in there. I don't think anybody else put that in there. I don't think Joe Budden put that in there. Yeah, making a dead man say the Joe Budden podcast is extra disrespectful. That's weird. Drake jokes about the ghost of late hip-hop legend Tupac is pushing Kendrick to mention Drake's alleged pedophilia in his alleged pedophilia. You've already lost. If you have to say alleged pedophilia, you've lost the plot. You can't defend that. That's such a weird... Those are two weird words to put next to one another. It's like putting the word top of the and hour next to one another, okay? It spells trouble. For those who are unsubscribed, of course, because at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. Drake is not a pop star. He's a statutory rapper. Oh. This accusation most commonly stems from Drake's controversially close relationship with actress Millie Bobby Brown. Though she was 20 years old when this song released, Brown mentioned that she and Drake texted often during a 2018 Emmy Awards interview. "I love him. I met him in Australia. He's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. We just texted the other day and he was like, I miss you so much. And I was like, I miss you more. He gives me advice about boys. He helps me. He's great. He's wonderful. I love him. The advice stays in the text messages. Brown was 14 at the time, leading many to accuse Drake of grooming the then teenage star. Drake would dismiss these allegations on Another Late Night from his 2023 release For All the Dogs, where he rapped, "Weirdos in my comment talking about some Millie Bobby. Look, bring them jokes up to the gang. We get to really flocking." Yeah, flocking around underage girls, I think, but we don't know. Okay, a year later, a controversial video of Drake kissing and caressing a 17-year-old on stage during a May 2010 concert resurfaced. When the attendee revealed her age, Drake said, "I can't go to jail yet, man. You're 17. Why do you look like that? You thick. Look at all this. I don't know if I should feel guilty or not, but I had fun. I like the way your breast feels against my chest." Kick's finest. Yeah. I mean, those make sense, don't it? Here, Drake implicitly suggests that the allegations are false by joking that they originated on the Joe Budden podcast, the hip-hop podcast by the titular retired rapper that Drake beefed with in 2016. Since Push-Ups released, many fans of Kendrick predicted that he'd go after Drake for this. In a sense, this is Drake attempting to preemptively neuter the shot before Drake can take it. Yeah, he definitely neutered it for sure. Drake implies that Kendrick, despite his "they told me the spirit of Machiavelli is alive," I would beef the whole game. It was me and Snoop Dogg have my shirt off in the House of Blues. Drake implies that Kendrick, despite his seemingly universal consideration as the successor to Tupac, can't possibly be that due to his height. This continued. Dude, I don't like the short jokes. Okay, you guys know my opinion on this. Okay, I'm one of the girls. All right, tall aside, talls have been making too many short jokes. They should not feel so comfortable. Okay, don't say I have tall guilt. I don't have tall guilt. I have forever and will continue to be a defender of my short kings. Okay, short king spring. Steak Aubrey grandma is the most 6'0" man on earth. The way he obsesses over height. Yeah, the way he's talking, I feel like he's 5'11". The way he talks about height so much kind of feels like he's one of the 5'11", 6-foot guys. You know what I mean? Anyway, Tupac, who also went by the stage name Machiavelli, notably had a height of 5'9" compared to Lamar's 5'6". Pac was involved in a myriad of beef stemming from his conflict with the late Notorious B.I.G. In fact, in Tupac's final concert before his death featured him and rapper Snoop Dogg at the House of Blues in Los Angeles, where the duo performed Two of America's Most Wanted, a song where the two flex their defenses against their enemies. You gotta get abused, all that shit about burning tattoos. He is not amused. Drake suggests he isn't moved by the threat, prompting Kendrick to do something more disrespectful, such as sleeping with Drake's significant other. This is allegedly what Tupac did to Notorious B.I.G. during their historic feud by claiming to have having slept with Faith Evans, the significant other of B.I.G. in his legendary 1996 diss track, Hit 'Em Up. He rapped, "You claim to be a player, but I your wife." That's jail talk for real thugs. You gotta be you. Drake, voicing as Kendrick's idol, is playing with Tupac's iconic catchphrase in rap group Thug Life by using it to downplay Kendrick's lyrics as inauthentic and advises Kendrick should instead aim to be himself. As Kendrick said on the song Like That, "Got two T's with me. I'm snatching chains and burning tattoos. It's up. Lost too many soldiers not to play it safe. If you walk around with that stick, it ain't Andre 3K. Drake claims these threatening words are reserved for gangsters/thugs who have really faced imprisonment, unlike Kendrick Lamar, who has never faced criminal charges or jail time. Once again, very odd when Drake is... This is a real pot calling the kettle black moment again and again and again. It's like when J. Cole said Kendrick Lamar was boring, okay? It feels very weird. He's low-key having a meltdown over the silence. If not him, definitely the fans. Academics waking up every morning doing a countdown is insane. Just a week of this. Yeah, it's the Spider-Man meme over and over again. J. Cole said Kendrick's music was boring. Drake clowned Kendrick for doing pop collabs and getting extorted by his label. Rick Ross said Drake is the police. Chris Brown called Quavo an abuser. What is going on? It feels like, once again, not to be too deep or too much of a tortured poet myself, but the thing we hate in others is actually just the reflection, is what we hate about ourselves, it seems, because everybody's pointing fingers in this direction when the fingers are also being pointed at them in the exact same way.
Now you about to get this shit another week and fall back to homegirl for running numbers up.
This is also my least favorite style of like concern trolling. Like, he's not only incredibly disrespectful using Tupac AI voice, but he's also making Tupac do fake concern trolling. Like, oh, the people are really demanding your diss track, Kendrick. They're concerned about you, Kendrick. It's so corny, dude. I love listening to the Budden podcast, Kendrick. Tupac, love listening to Joe Budden's podcast. That's the only place I heard the pedophilia allegations from. Nowhere else. So disrespectful. Drake insists that Kendrick is conflicted on how to reply to push-ups. His response to Kendrick's "This is on like that." Drake dropped this track a week after push-ups leaked online. Drake would go on to try and bait Lamar into responding with daily social media antics, such as posting a photo of Lamar's manager and asking him for a response and commenting under an Instagram post defending Kendrick's silence. Use me as a "they have nothing to drop" button. Yeah, I saw that one. It also should be noted that Kendrick never made a direct response to anyone he challenged on his historic Control verse in 2013, despite getting some replies. Kendrick only replied through continuous subliminal shots over the years and a leaked diss verse on his 2018 song Element. For this, Drake calls out K-Dot for throwing rocks and hiding his hand.
These industry relationships, she not in your shoes. You supposed to be the book.
Oh, and he's saying that it's because of Taylor. Drake alleges that Kendrick delayed dropping his response to push-ups to avoid challenging the charting the Tortured Poet Department, the 11th studio album by pop icon Taylor Swift that dropped on April 19, 2024. Drake previously teased Lamar for catering to Swift's agenda on push-ups when he rapped, "We need a verse for the Swifties. Top say drop, you better drop and give him 50." Drake officially released push-ups to streaming services on the same day, showing that he doesn't fear Swift's charting dominance. Yeah, the Swifties are really tapped into the to what's going on in this world for sure. Drake jokes that this effectively makes Swift a new version of Anthony Top Dog Tiffith, the CEO of Kendrick's former record label, talking about extortion. Drake makes a homonymic, I don't know how to read that, pun out of the term tailor-made, joking that Kendrick's music release schedule is controlled by Taylor Swift due to her release dates for music dictating that of Lamar's. Kendrick's persona is that of a rap boogeyman who isn't afraid to call out or rap about anyone, dating back to his infamous Control verse, and even further back in 2010 remix of Kanye West's Monster, where he called out people like Drake, Big Sean, J. Cole, and more. Here, Drake is essentially saying that if Kendrick was really that person, then he wouldn't care about industry relationships with people like Taylor Swift, who he is friends with and has collaborated with previously, and would instead be the boogeyman and would release a response to Drake's push-ups, even if it steps on the toes of Swift's Tortured Poets Department release. Drake ends the sentiment by noting that if Kendrick doesn't do that, then maybe he isn't the real hip-hop boogeyman that everyone thought he was.
That's you. What the you really got to do?
Bro, what? Bro. Snoop Dogg is not even dead. What is going on? What the Snoop does NFT deals. He would definitely do this if paid. Kendrick, it's me, Tupac. I want you to know Drake's is badder than yours. His money longer than yours. I love Drake. Your albums are mid. This is like a kid playing with toys and just like imagining a universe. You know what I mean? I can't wait to hear what DJ Academics has to say. Oh, Snoop Dogg's did react to it. Oh, okay. We'll do this after. Oh my God. See, this is why this kind of diss stuff is fun. Because like, you know, it's cool. It's fun. It gets people it gets people paying attention. It's great. This is awesome. Snoop high as hell somewhere trying to figure out when he recorded that.
Never did nothing violent and no one. It's the homies that empower you.
Oh God, the Snoop Dogg one is even worse, dude. That's crazy, bro. Dropping this on 420. This is up. This is up. Snoop Dogg has no idea what's going on. This is a holiday. This is outright disrespectful. I know you've never been to jail or wore jumpsuits and shower shoes. I used to want to see the penitentiary way after elementary. Thought it was cool to look the judge in the face when he sentenced me. Since my uncle's was institutionalized, my tuition has said I was suited for family ties. Kendrick almost romanticized the life of crime and criminal connections throughout his verse, and many of his songs that he himself has not been in prison or convicted. Never shot nobody, never stabbed nobody. Drake insinuates Kendrick's donning a false bravado. Again, all of the lines of attack against Kendrick for not being like real, like not being a real gangster is really funny coming from Drake. It's just ridiculous because like their backgrounds are very different. Like Kendrick Lamar is rapping about his own personal experience, his own personal upbringing. When Drake raps about stuff like that, it's not. He's a tourist. Chill on my goat, Aubrey. I mean, it's just like weird that a child actor is saying like, bro, you're not even hard. Like you're not actually hard. You're just like, you're fake. You're phony. And only the people that write Rap Genius articles in this most like, actually type way would think that this is a hard bar or like a valid avenue of attack. Drake should let me ghostwrite for him. He hasn't even defended himself by being old by saying, I've been pushing 40 for 2 decades in reference to his producer 40, aka Noah Shabib. Drake couldn't say these things. He had to say it through Snoop. Yeah, it would also, don't get mad at me, chatters who are in their feelings a little bit, but it is kind of odd to be like wishing another black man goes to jail. Kind of weird, okay? Kind of weird. Just saying, it feels a little strange. It feels a little strange to be fantasizing about how violent a black man from Compton could be and how he needs to be violent to be real and how he should go to jail. Odd behavior. What do I know? Don't get mad at me. It's odd behavior. That's all I'm saying. It feels kind of strange. Giving a little white supremacy. Arrest me, officers. Take me away. Let's continue.
But still, you gotta show our who's boss on the west.
Yeah, never did nothing violent to no one. It's the homies that empower you. Drake insinuates that Kendrick is donning a false bravado via what he has seen rather than what he's experienced. This non-criminal persona is frequently occurring stance Kendrick takes within his own songs. I'm just a good kid from Compton that wanted the rap way. My options, pick up a Bible or a strap. Never killed a man, never sold any crack. All I ever did was try to keep my city on the map. Drake wishes to point out this hypocrisy. This even implied with Kendrick's appearance on Metro Boomin's Like That. Drake noticed how it's only through Kendrick's bodyguards that he will be snatching chains instead of Kendrick alone himself. I don't know if Drake has seen, well, we know Drake has seen Kendrick do the push-ups. He is svelte and does not have fake abs as far as I know. That would hurt me if I knew that he also did that, but I don't think he would do that. He would not do that sort of thing. Very Drake thing to do. Drake's label image for OVO sound has famously been an out, as he has associated himself heavily with said imagery with his own personal jewelry and merchandise, but still, you got to show this out who's boss on the West. Now's the time to really make a power move, because right now it's looking like you're writing out the game plan on how to lose.
That you know the DOG never out of you, but right now it seems like you posted up without a clue.
It is. Am I crazy? Is lame as hell to just like get Snoop Dogg and Tupac to concern troll. Like, his last diss track was actually very good. It's not only very disrespectful, but it's also very, very lame, very corny to be like, oh yeah, we're worried about you, dude. We're so worried. You are crazy. I mean, he's just trolling, but it's just, I don't know. It almost feels like Drake is once again opening up new fronts, bro. Opening up another front. It's just like, let's strike another embassy compound. It's like weird. Why would you do that? Just, you know, keep your main focus. He's using other people to speak for him. It's shitty because of AI, but it's also corny as hell. You think the story of Adidon was corny? No. But these are the things that Kendrick bases his bravado on, right? Wait, what? Ultimately, I still like it because it's content, and selfishly, I think. Like, it's good to put up a little bit of pressure. It's just that I think if he keeps doing stuff like this, people are going to get more mad at him and forget the good diss track that he put out already. Does that make sense? Because he already had a good diss track. What is this tweet? That new Drake song? See, this is what I mean. Why did he do this? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Like, he was already doing all right. You just found a really funny. Oh shit. At Oprah, I'm so proud of you. At Taylor Swift, I'm so proud of you. At Tyra Banks, I'm so proud of you. At Gayle King, I'm so proud of you. I mean, he is an ally. He's an ally to women. Okay.
Yeah, that's the truth. I'm definitely about to come around the land gang. I guess you need another week to figure out how to improve. What is taking so long?
The poop bowel stuff, all I'm going to say is Ice Spice changed the game. Okay? Ice Spice really changed the game. Okay? You think you're the shit? You ain't even the fart. The rap game has not been the same since then. Okay? Everybody's out here talking about poopies. Everybody's spitting doo-doo bars, dude. What the Hey, I did a dookie. Oh, that's awesome. What the? Oh, It's a weird thing to invoke. It's just weird imagery. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong on this, but it just feels like a very odd thing to bring up. Poop is hip again. It started with skibbity. Oh, that's awesome. Isn't like 80% of rap songs, bro? Seriously? Yeah, no, it's been a thing for a while. I was just kidding I just wanted to make an Ice Spice reference. The Queen. Here, Drake references PJ Lang, Kendrick Lamar's creative label co-founder by himself, and Dave Free with Kendrick's baby cousin. Kendrick's cousin, Baby Keem, a label mate. Drake claims on a higher level than the members of PG Lang, such as indicates his intention to shit on them or to impose his superiority over them. He's about the dookie all over him. This is not the first time that Drake mentions he's on a higher level than his peers. In fact, he raps about this on his precursor to his record, Push-Ups. This line is an obvious play on the aviation career of business magnate Howard Hughes. However, it is also worth noting that Howard Hughes was, for many years, the richest man in the United States. Throughout this beef, Drake is constantly centered on his wealth as a theme, citing the disparity between his net worth and Kendrick's. Drake probably saying that his diss track Push-Ups took him 1 or 2 hours. Also warning Kendrick about his next diss track. By the time of this diss track, Kendrick still hasn't responded to Drake or made any appearances at all. ... And then alleging that he stopped because of Taylor Swift's, he stopped because of Taylor Swift, because Taylor Swift is releasing, saying that he's just, owned by Taylor Swift, demanding that a black man get violent and be, in air quotes, ghetto, saying that a black man is owned by a white person. Like, spiritually, I feel like there's something very odd. Spiritually, there's something that just doesn't kind of sit right here. I'm just saying. Something using Tupac AI's digital blackface disgust.
Soon as you get the courage to drop, I'm out on the loose.
Okay. So, hate all you corporate industry puppets. I'm not in the mood. I love it when you talk loose, like I'm not in the room. Drake creates distance between himself and other rappers with juxtaposing statements of hating them and loving their actions. He hates their industry puppet side by stating he's his own boss and can make moves on his own free will. He also argues against the idea of celebrities, specifically himself, can be out of touch. Drake is such a boss and so rich and so wealthy that he had to take a crypto gambling casino sponsorship and drops albums like a man who's worried that they're going to break his kneecaps if he doesn't make more money. Am I insinuating that Drake has a deep gambling debt and possibly a genuine gambling addiction? Yes, I am. I am insinuating that. He hates their industry puppets side by stating he also argues against the idea of celebrities, specifically himself, can be out of touch and does not know what people are saying about him, as instead he is closely listening to everything said about him. That's a bit of a cell phone, don't you think?
Yeah, shout out to Taylor Swift.
Oh, and then he says, since like that, your tone changed. You not as enthused. How are you not in the booth? I feel like you kind of removed. You're going to let this shit down. Nah, not this time. You following through. I guess you need another week to figure out how to improve. Why the f you taking so long? We're waiting on you. The rest of y'all definitely involved. Y'all getting it too. Soon as you get the courage to drop, I'm out on the loose. Which, by the way, one thing I will stay here, as far as like his lyricism is pretty good. I feel like he needs to do more like deep investigative reporting. Worst flight ever, Hawaii to Omaha, depressing. This has 68 likes. How do you find this shit, M-Hud? Bro, I wasn't even in the country when Drake was tweeting this. All right, let's see the outro.
Biggest gangster in the music game right now.
Oh, and then he sucks up to Taylor Swift. Okay, dude.
Yeah.
All right, so Taylor Swift is almost universally considered the most commercially successful music artist of the 2010s. In fact, her 11th studio album, Torture Post Department, broke the Spotify record for the most streamed album in a single day and granted her the title of most streamed Spotify artist in a single day after its release. This is why Drake calls her the biggest gangster in the music industry, even admitting to fearing her a bit on Red Button. All the Dogg Scary Hours edition when he rapped. Taylor Swift is the only one that I ever rated. Only one could make me drop the album just a little later. Rest of y'all, I treat you like you never made it. And then he says she got the whole PG Lang on mute, like that Beyonce challenge. Kendrick bought a penthouse in Brooklyn, New York for a whopping $8.6 million after the release of Drake's diss Push-Ups and this new freestyle diss. Drake thinks that Kendrick is in the penthouse right now, struggling to come up with a worthy track. You better have a motherfucking quintuple entendre on that. Some I don't even understand. Like, bro, it's actually okay. I will say this much. I think this did not need to be released, but I'm glad that it was because there's like more drama. But also, I feel like doesn't this seem like he's also kind of respecting Kendrick Lamar a little bit. Like these last couple of lines is just like, it does. I'm not, as you guys know, I'm not eating Drake's dick at all. First of all, I couldn't. There's too much dick to be eaten. Okay. But also simultaneously, it does feel like he's saying this in a way where it's like, oh, it'll be fun. This is like fun trolling. Like it's good for the business, which is weird because like this part is really disrespectful, I think, and opening him to lines of attack for no reason when he already is a target rich environment from a diss perspective. You know what I mean? Pedophile stuff, pretty bad overall. You know, acting hard body when he's not. He doesn't come from this background at all. And then many of his he already has a lot of skeletons, but then beyond that, he's like just doing more to just like create openings, like additional openings using AI, disrespecting Tupac. I don't know. Like this is a little bit parasocial to say, but it kind of feels like the Pusha T stuff broke him a little bit. So now when there's like when there's like a diss potentially coming his way, I feel like the anticipation has caused tremendous anxiety in him that is letting him do this kind of stuff to be like, not a care in the world, actually. I'm just trolling, having a fun time with it all. And it looks like he's overcompensating a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like you drop 2 disses in a row and then you just basically dissed yourself in the diss because you were like so worried about what kind of diss may happen that might come in your direction that one, you're like begging to respond. He's like basically, yeah, he's basically double texting here. And not only is the act of double texting also demonstrating weakness, but also he's doing it in a way that like shows anxiety almost. Then in the end here, he just kind of wraps it up by being like, oh, it'll be fun for both of us. So it doesn't really match up with the energy of these 2 verses, especially in the beginning. You're so off base, it hurts. What do the Drake stands say? Doing mental gymnastics code for Kendrick, not gonna lie, he needs to drop and respond Kendrick. No, I think so too. I do agree. I think Kendrick Lamar, I mean, it'll be fun when he does. I suspect he will, even though he hasn't before. Kanye West. What? Kanye diss? What do you mean? Being a Drake stan is so weird. He's such a corny, unlikable dude. First of all, I don't think it's that weird. It doesn't matter that we think he's corny or unlikable. He is one of the most successful, top charting pop artists of all time. Like that's not, and he does also make good music overall. Like he makes, even if you consider it formulaic or whatever, it still doesn't really matter. He is like a phenomenally popular person. Also, there's a lot of corny motherfuckers out there too. So they see themselves in him and they probably look to that and go like, well, he represents my corniness. It's weird to have this analysis, especially when considering that like Taylor Swift released a 31 song album that is 2 hours long titled Tortured Poets Society. People don't mind corny. People do see themselves. Here's a good take. Drake is one of the biggest artists on the planet. Fact. People who criticize Drake aren't all haters, though. He does whack shit fairly regularly. He got hits. Doesn't mean he's immune to whackness. Jay-Z is my GOAT. And he dropped Kingdom Come with a straight face. Whack is whack. Kendrick shouldn't. Drake, disses are barely above average, written by ghostwriters. And most importantly, Kendrick is out of his league. Okay, that seems a little bit dick ridey. Because the other side of this is like, he is the one who started it. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you're going to start it, you have to finish it too. All right, let's hear what... Now that we look through that, let's hear what Snoop Dogg had to say about his AI voice being used in the diss track.
They did what? When? How? Are you sure? Y'all have a good night. And to all. Why off? Everybody calling my phone, blowing me up. What happened? What's going on?
Dude.
I'm going back to bed. Good night.
He can't say much because Drake has a stake in his label. The fact Playboi Carti manufactured all this so he didn't have to drop an album is so crazy. Yeah, that's what happened. No, he's for sure, dude. It's going to come.